Alison Munro, you're the Managing Director of Development at High Speed 2, a project which I think 19 months ago you deposited the bill. How are you getting on? Are we making progress?
Yes, we're making very good progress. We had a large number of petitioners, so inevitably it will take some time to pass through the parliamentary process, but the committee is making good progress, very businesslike, and so we're hopeful of getting royal assent next year. Obviously it's down to Parliament to determine that, but our expectation is that if all continues as currently, we'll get royal assent next year. That means that we'll be starting to build in 2017, so that's really very close.
But I think it was 1,900 petitions that you've been, or that certainly Parliament is looking through. I mean, from that, are there any, I suppose, major surprises that you've had to take on board?
I wouldn't say there were surprises, because we had undertaken an enormous amount of engagement and discussion with communities and with affected businesses and local authorities before we deposited the bill. So we had a very good understanding of where people were coming from, and we are moving forward and managing to resolve some of those issues, and some of those issues will be resolved through the committee process.
Right. But I suppose we've got an acceptance now that infrastructure, investment in infrastructure is a key to economic growth. Are we getting better at taking that aspiration and delivering it and making these things reality? I mean, Crossrail, I think, took perhaps 40 months to actually get through the parliamentary process. We've now got a hybrid bill we're using on HS2. We're looking perhaps at DCO methods. Are we getting better at delivering?
Well, I think we are. If you look at the time it has taken from when the High Speed 2 was first set up to where we are in the build process, actually that has been much quicker than we've seen on other major projects like Crossrail and High Speed 1. So I believe we have learned some of the lessons from the early planning stages. You know, we live in a democracy where people have the right for their views to be heard, and Parliament will ultimately decide we hope in favour of taking High Speed 2 forward, but that's a process we have to go through. But we've very much tried to learn all of the lessons from previous projects and make sure that we're doing High Speed 2 as efficiently as we can, and I think that is paying off, because as I say, we have made good progress to date.
We're here talking at the Tomorrow's Rail conference, and obviously across the classic network there is a lot of pressure on Network Rail to deliver the upgrades that it needs. There's been some criticism that HS2 has taken a lot of the key staff. I mean, is that something which you have to keep an eye on?
Well, clearly we want to have the very best people working on High Speed 2, and we've recruited people from a number of different industries. So I mean, it's not surprising that you would expect some of those to come from Network Rail, but we've recruited people from many other industries as well. And one of the really important things going forward, as has been a theme here today, is to make sure that we have actually the supply of very good, trained, talented people coming in the future into the industry, because we are a 20-year project in delivery, and we need to make sure that we've got those skills coming forward. The
other big challenge, of course, in rail is to get things built quicker, and I know HS2 wants to try to accelerate. I mean, what are your plans in terms of the next? You're also looking at the next phases, the second section as you go beyond Birmingham. Will that be accelerated?
Well, the Secretary of State for Transport has made clear his desire to, and the Chancellor, George Osborne, their desire to move forward as quickly as we can. And we are looking at whether we can build parts of the second phase quicker. So in particular, we're looking at building part of the route north of Birmingham on the western side quicker, potentially to Crewe, and we're looking also at whether we could build on the eastern side the Leeds to Sheffield section quicker. So yes, there is a real desire to do things more quickly, and not only that, we're also looking at experience overseas in terms of how, when we actually get to build it, we can do that process of building as efficiently as possible.
And of course, getting the supply chain geared up for that programme is critical.
Absolutely, and we've had a very intensive engagement. I think more engagement has ever happened before on a major project like this with the supply chain, to make sure that they really understand the work that is coming along, the challenges that we face, our desire to innovate and do things better, so that they can get themselves geared up for that and play a full role in the delivery of High Speed 2.
We've come a long way, there's a long way to go, so we'll keep an eye on what's happening. Alison, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.